How can a country where winter seems to last forever become one of the happiest places on Earth? For months each year, the sun barely rises above the horizon. Temperatures plunge far below freezing, and entire landscapes disappear beneath snow and ice. People here pay some of the highest taxes in Europe. The cost of living is among the highest on the continent. Silence is respected. Personal space is almost sacred. At first glance, Sweden doesn't sound like the kind of place where most people would dream of living. And yet, year after year, it continues to rank among the world's happiest, safest, and most livable countries. Why? What keeps millions of people choosing to build their lives here instead of leaving for somewhere warmer, cheaper, or easier? Is it the breathtaking forests that cover nearly 70% of the country? The endless lakes and more than 267,000 islands? Or is there something much deeper, hidden within the Swedish way of life? Behind the picture-perfect landscapes lies a society shaped by long winters, quiet resilience, deep trust, and a unique philosophy that has influenced generations. So before we discover how the Swedish people live today, we first need to understand the land that shaped them. Welcome to Sweden. Stretching for more than 1,600 kilometers from south to north, Sweden is a country where nature is not simply a backdrop, it is the foundation of everyday life. Nearly 70% of the land is covered by forests, while around 100,000 lakes reflect the changing Nordic sky. Despite being one of Europe's largest countries, Sweden remains one of its least densely populated. Vast landscapes separate towns and villages, giving nature a presence that few other nations still experience today. Here, geography does more than define the scenery. It shapes where people settle, how they earn a living, and even the values passed from one generation to the next. Our journey begins in the southern province of Skåne, where Sweden feels closest to continental Europe. Connected to Denmark by the famous Öresund Bridge, this region enjoys one of the country's mildest climates. Rolling farmland stretches toward the horizon, producing much of Sweden's grain, vegetables, and rapeseed. Every spring, endless yellow fields burst into bloom, creating one of the country's most iconic landscapes. Farming families have worked this fertile land for centuries, and life here still follows the rhythm of the seasons. The connection between people and the land remains as strong as ever. Travel a few hours farther north, however, and the scenery begins to change. The fertile plains gradually give way to endless pine forests, scattered lakes, and enormous granite boulders shaped by ancient glaciers. This is Småland, a region where the soil has never been particularly generous. For generations, people here learned to survive by making the most of what little they had. They repaired instead of replacing. They built carefully. Waste was avoided whenever possible. Over time, these habits became more than practical solutions. They evolved into a national character built upon simplicity, modesty, and resourcefulness. Perhaps it is no coincidence that IKEA, a company famous around the world for simple, functional, and affordable design, was born here. Among red wooden cottages, quiet lakes, and towering pine trees, silence is never uncomfortable. It becomes part of daily life, as natural as the forests themselves. The farther north you travel, the fewer people you encounter. Northern Sweden covers more than half of the country's land area, yet only a small percentage of the population lives there. Roads become longer, villages become smaller. Forests stretch for hundreds of kilometers without interruption. Beyond the Arctic Circle lies Lapland, where nature reveals both its harshest and most beautiful face. During winter, temperatures can fall below -30 degrees Celsius. Snow blankets the landscape for months, and there are times when the sun barely rises above the horizon. But every year, the darkness gives way to an extraordinary transformation. Summer arrives with the midnight sun, when daylight lingers for weeks and the distinction between day and night almost disappears. Across these northern plains live the Sami, the indigenous people of northern Scandinavia. For centuries, they have followed the seasonal migration of reindeer across mountains, forests, and frozen rivers. Their traditions reflect a profound understanding of nature's rhythms, a reminder that survival here has always depended on patience, respect, and adaptation. Life in the far north teaches a different relationship with time. People do not rush the changing seasons. They wait for the snow to melt. They wait for the rivers to flow again. And they cherish the brief Arctic summer that rewards months of darkness. Yet Sweden's story is not told only by its forests and mountains. It is equally shaped by water. With more than 267,000 islands scattered along its coastline and countless lakes throughout the country, Sweden possesses one of the world's largest archipelagos. Seen from above, these islands resemble scattered stars floating across the deep blue waters of the Baltic Sea. Most remain uninhabited, covered with pine trees, weathered granite cliffs, and quiet beaches. They preserve a sense of peace that has become increasingly rare in the modern world. Nowhere is this relationship between land and water more visible than in Stockholm. Built across 14 islands and connected by more than 50 bridges, the Swedish capital embraces water rather than resisting it. For many residents, commuting by ferry is as ordinary as taking a bus or subway. Only minutes from the city center, forests, rocky islands, and peaceful harbors begin to appear. Even in one of Europe's most modern capitals, nature never feels far away. When the short Nordic summer finally arrives, another tradition quietly unfolds. Families leave their city apartments behind and return to small cottages scattered across the Stockholm archipelago. They spend long evenings kayaking through narrow waterways, fishing from wooden boats, picking wild berries, or simply watching the sun linger late into the night. For many Swedes, this is far more than a summer vacation. It is a return to the landscape that has shaped their identity for generations. And perhaps, before we can truly understand the Swedish people, we must first understand that in Sweden, nature is not somewhere people escape to. It is where they have always belonged. A new day in Sweden begins in remarkable silence. As the first light of morning spreads across quiet neighborhoods, streets gradually come to life. Children walk or cycle to school, often without their parents by their side. From an early age, independence is encouraged, not as something extraordinary, but as a natural part of growing up. Public transportation arrives with quiet precision. Trains, buses, and trams connect cities and towns with remarkable reliability, making daily travel simple and efficient. For many Swedes, owning a car is less important than having a transportation system they can trust. Even in Sweden's largest cities, life rarely feels rushed. Traffic exists, of course, but the constant noise and urgency found in many metropolitan areas around the world seem noticeably absent. There is a calm rhythm to everyday life, as if people have learned that not every moment needs to be filled with activity. Work plays an important role in Swedish society, but it is rarely allowed to become the center of life. A typical work week lasts around 40 hours, and leaving the office on time is not considered a sign of laziness. Instead, productivity is measured by results rather than by how long someone stays behind a desk. When the workday ends, many people head home to cook dinner, exercise, spend time with their children, or simply enjoy a quiet evening with family. This balance between career and personal life is one of the values that many Swedes protect most carefully. Nothing reflects this philosophy better than Fika. To outsiders, it may appear to be nothing more than a coffee break, but for Swedes, Fika is much more than coffee. It is a daily pause, a moment to slow down, share conversations, and reconnect with colleagues, friends, or family. Meetings often become more productive after Fika because people return refreshed rather than exhausted. A cup of freshly brewed coffee, accompanied by a cinnamon bun or another simple pastry, has become an unmistakable symbol of Swedish everyday life. In a world that constantly celebrates working harder and moving faster, Fika quietly reminds people that rest also has value. As winter arrives and darkness begins to settle earlier each afternoon, another important tradition emerges. Inside warm homes, candles are lit, soft blankets appear on sofas, tea begins to replace cold drinks, families gather around dinner tables, board games, or quiet conversations. Swedes often describe this comforting atmosphere with the word "mys," a feeling of warmth, safety, and togetherness that transforms long winter evenings into moments worth remembering. When temperatures fall and daylight becomes scarce, the home becomes more than just a place to sleep. It becomes a refuge from the harsh Nordic winter. Food reflects this same sense of simplicity. Breakfast in many Swedish households is modest but nourishing. Crisp bread, cheese, butter, boiled eggs, yogurt, and a steaming cup of coffee are enough to begin the day. Coffee itself holds a special place in Swedish culture. Despite their cold climate, or perhaps because of it, Swedes rank among the world's highest coffee consumers. Coffee accompanies work, conversations, celebrations, and quiet moments alike. Dinner is equally uncomplicated. Potatoes appear on countless tables, accompanied by salmon, pickled herring, or the world-famous Swedish meatballs. Served with creamy sauce and sweet lingonberry jam, these dishes have become symbols of Swedish cuisine, not because they are luxurious, but because they represent generations of family traditions. Farther north, however, nature offers different ingredients. For the Sami people, reindeer has long been an essential source of food. Smoked, dried, or slowly cooked in hearty stews, it reflects centuries of adaptation to one of Europe's harshest climates. During the short northern summer, another treasured delicacy appears. Golden cloudberries ripen across remote marshlands, and for many Swedes, cloudberry jam served with waffles or fresh cream is a taste forever associated with Lapland. If there is one Swedish dish that surprises visitors more than any other, it is undoubtedly surströmming. This fermented herring is famous for its powerful smell, strong enough that many first-time visitors struggle even to open the can. Yet behind its reputation lies a story of survival. Long before refrigeration existed, fermentation allowed families to preserve food through the endless Nordic winters. For those who grew up with it, surströmming is not merely an unusual meal. It is a tradition, a memory, and a reminder of how previous generations adapted to the land. As Friday evening arrives, another uniquely Swedish tradition quietly begins. Known as Fredagsmys, or Cozy Friday, it marks the end of the working week. Instead of seeking excitement outside, many families choose to stay home. They watch movies, play games, prepare dinner together, and simply enjoy each other's company. Perhaps surprisingly, one of the country's favorite Friday meals is tacos. Though inspired by Mexican cuisine, Swedish tacos have evolved into something uniquely their own, served buffet-style with tortillas, seasoned meat, vegetables, cheese, salsa, and a variety of toppings, so everyone can create their own perfect meal. For many Swedes, fredagsmys is not about the food itself. It is about slowing down, sharing time with the people who matter most, and remembering that sometimes the happiest moments in life are also the simplest. In Sweden, the changing seasons are not simply marked on a calendar. They shape the rhythm of life itself. After months of darkness and freezing temperatures, the arrival of summer feels less like another season and more like a long-awaited celebration. As the snow melts and daylight stretches late into the evening, the entire country seems to awaken. Parks fill with laughter, gardens burst into color, families leave their homes and spend every possible moment outdoors, making the most of a season that never lasts long enough. Among all Swedish celebrations, none is more beloved than midsummer. Held near the summer solstice, when daylight reaches its longest hours, midsummer is considered one of the most important holidays of the year. Across the country, people gather in parks, villages, and countryside meadows to celebrate together. Women and children weave delicate flower crowns from wild blossoms. Communities raise the traditional maypole, decorated with leaves and flowers, before everyone joins hands to dance around it. Folk songs that have echoed through generations fill the warm summer air, connecting the present with centuries of tradition. The celebration continues around long outdoor tables where family and friends share simple yet meaningful meals. Pickled herring, freshly harvested potatoes, sour cream, crisp bread, strawberries, and chilled drinks become familiar sights throughout the country. But the true heart of midsummer is not the food. It is the feeling of finally standing beneath the warmth of the sun after enduring one of the longest winters in Europe. For a brief moment, the darkness that once defined everyday life seems very far away. Children play until late at night. Conversations continue beneath skies that refuse to grow dark. Time itself appears to slow down. If midsummer celebrates the triumph of sunlight, another Swedish tradition honors hope during the darkest days of the year. Every year on December 13th, Sweden celebrates St. Lucia Day. By this time, winter has settled across the country. In many parts of Sweden, daylight lasts only a few short hours before darkness returns once again. Yet instead of surrendering to the long winter nights, people create their own light. Before sunrise, churches, schools, hospitals, and workplaces become illuminated by candlelight. At the center of each procession walks a young woman dressed in a flowing white gown, wearing a crown of glowing candles upon her head. Behind her follow children and singers, carrying candles while performing traditional Lucia songs that have been passed down through generations. The atmosphere is quiet, peaceful, almost dreamlike. Unlike the joyful energy of midsummer, Lucia invites people to pause and reflect. It reminds every generation that even the longest night eventually gives way to morning. As summer slowly begins to fade and autumn approaches, another uniquely Swedish tradition brings families and friends together one final time before winter returns. This is the crayfish party, known in Swedish as kräftskiva. During these lively gatherings, long tables are decorated with colorful paper lanterns and cheerful hats. Friends laugh together while singing traditional drinking songs before enjoying plates filled with boiled crayfish seasoned with fresh dill. The atmosphere is both festive and nostalgic. Everyone knows that the bright Nordic summer is coming to an end. Soon the evenings will become colder, the days will grow shorter, and another long winter will quietly approach. Perhaps this is why Swedish traditions are so deeply connected with light. When the sun finally returns after months of darkness, people celebrate it with flowers, music, dancing, and laughter. When winter arrives once again, they answer the darkness not with fear, but with candles, warmth, and togetherness. Between these two seasons, the Swedish people have created a way of life unlike anywhere else in the world. A culture where nature shapes not only the climate, but also memories, emotions, and the traditions that continue to unite generations. In many parts of the world, nature is divided by fences, warning signs, and private property. But in Sweden, the relationship between people and the land is built on a very different idea. For centuries, Swedes have embraced a principle known as allemansrätten, often translated as the right of public access. It gives everyone the freedom to walk through forests, camp beneath the stars, paddle across lakes, pick wild berries, and explore nature, even on privately owned land, as long as they respect the environment and never disturb those who live there. It is a freedom built not on ownership, but on responsibility. Every summer, countless families leave the cities behind and head into the forests carrying empty baskets. Children eagerly search beneath blueberry bushes. Parents gather mushrooms hidden among the moss. Grandparents pass down the knowledge of which plants are safe to collect and which should be left untouched. These are not extraordinary adventures, they are ordinary weekends. From an early age, Swedish children are taught that nature belongs to everyone, and because it belongs to everyone has a duty to protect it. Perhaps this is why forests are not simply places to visit, they become classrooms, playgrounds, places of reflection, and lifelong companions. For many Swedes, success is not measured by owning a larger house or a more expensive car. Instead, many dream of owning something much simpler, a small wooden cottage, known simply as a stuga, hidden beside a quiet lake, nestled among pine forests, or standing alone on a peaceful island. When summer finally arrives, these cottages come alive. Families leave behind the routines of city life and return to a slower rhythm. Mornings begin with birdsong instead of traffic. Afternoons are spent fishing, rowing across calm lakes, gathering firewood, or preparing simple meals outdoors. Evenings end quietly on a wooden dock as the sun slowly disappears beyond the trees. There are no deadlines, no crowded streets, no endless notifications demanding attention, only silence, fresh air, and time. Perhaps this is why so many Swedes feel comfortable being alone. In Sweden, solitude is rarely seen as loneliness. Instead, it is often viewed as an opportunity to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with both nature and oneself. Weekends are often spent hiking through forests, kayaking between islands, or sitting quietly beside a lake. These moments are not considered luxuries. They are simply part of everyday life. Yet one of the most remarkable qualities of Swedish society cannot be found in its forests or lakes. It can be found in its people. Visitors are often surprised to discover small roadside farm stands where no one is watching. Fresh vegetables, flowers, or homemade products are left on display. Customers simply take what they need and leave payment behind. No cameras, no cashiers, no one checking whether the rules are being followed. At bus stops, train stations, and public spaces, people patiently wait their turn without barriers or instructions. Everyone seems to trust that others will do the right thing. This deep sense of confidence has a name: social trust. For generations, Swedes have developed a strong belief that most people will behave responsibly, that public institutions exist to serve society fairly, and that the taxes they pay will return as benefits for everyone. That trust has become one of the foundations of modern Sweden. It shapes everyday interactions in ways that visitors immediately notice, even if they cannot always explain them. Nowhere is this more visible than in Swedish family life. Walk into a cafe on a weekday afternoon in Stockholm, and you may notice something unexpected. Fathers sitting together with baby strollers, sharing coffee, talking quietly while their children sleep nearby. These men are affectionately known as latte dads. They are not unemployed. Nor are they taking a day off. They are simply using one of Sweden's most well-known family policies. Parents are entitled to hundreds of days of paid parental leave, which can be shared between both mother and father. As a result, raising children is not viewed as the responsibility of one parent alone. Fathers are expected to feed their babies, change diapers, read bedtime stories, and become active participants from the very beginning of a child's life. Perhaps this is why many Swedes measure wealth differently, not only by income, but by time. Time to watch their children grow. Time to share meals together. Time to enjoy a quiet evening without rushing. Because in Sweden, a successful life is not simply about earning more. It is about having enough time to truly live. Life in Sweden is often admired around the world. The peaceful forests, the beautiful lakes, the generous welfare system, the balance between work and family. But behind this image lies another reality, one that every Swede must learn to live with. Winter is not simply a season. It is a test of patience. For several months each year, daylight becomes increasingly scarce. In the southern parts of the country, the sun may disappear by mid-afternoon. Farther north, above the Arctic Circle, there are weeks when daylight barely appears at all. People leave home before sunrise. They return after darkness has already settled. For newcomers, this lack of sunlight can be one of the most difficult challenges to overcome. Feelings of isolation, fatigue, and low energy are not uncommon during the long Nordic winter. To adapt, many people rely on light therapy lamps, take vitamin D supplements, and make a conscious effort to spend time outdoors, even when temperatures fall far below freezing. One sight that often surprises foreign visitors is seeing babies sleeping peacefully outside in their strollers during winter. Wrapped in thick blankets and warm clothing, they rest in the fresh air while parents remain nearby. For many Swedish families, this practice is believed to strengthen children's health and help them become accustomed to the climate from an early age. Perhaps it is because winter lasts so long that Swedes learn to treasure every ray of sunshine. Every warm afternoon, every gathering with family, every quiet moment beside a candle. Yet the climate is not the only challenge. Living in Sweden is expensive. In cities such as Stockholm and Gothenburg, housing prices rank among the highest in Europe. For many young adults, buying an apartment in the city has become an ambition that requires years of saving and careful planning. Many continue renting well into adulthood. Others choose to live farther from city centers, accepting longer daily commutes in exchange for more affordable homes. Even ordinary expenses can surprise newcomers. A simple cup of coffee may cost around $5. Groceries, transportation, restaurants, and everyday services often require a significantly higher budget than in many other European countries. Then there are taxes. Depending on income, personal tax rates commonly begin around 30% and may exceed 50% for higher earners. To many outsiders, these numbers seem astonishing. Yet most Swedes rarely see taxes only as money taken away. They see them as an investment in society. Those taxes help support universal health care, nearly free education, public transportation, childcare, and one of the world's most comprehensive welfare systems. For many people, the security provided by these services outweighs the financial cost. Still, Sweden is not without its own modern challenges. The rising cost of housing has become an increasing concern for younger generations. Owning a home in the heart of a major city is no longer an easy dream to achieve. Many delay buying property. Others adjust their expectations altogether. Yet remarkably, most choose to stay. Because for many Swedes, quality of life is measured by more than real estate or salary. It is measured by security, stability, and time. Another idea quietly influences Swedish society. It is known as the Law of Jante. Although it is not an actual law, it has shaped Scandinavian culture for generations. Its message is simple. Do not believe you are better than anyone else. Success should never become arrogance. Achievement should be accompanied by humility. Many believe this philosophy helps preserve equality and strengthens social harmony. Others argue that it can discourage people from standing out or expressing their individuality. Like many traditions, it carries both strengths and limitations. Learning in Sweden also reflects a different way of thinking. Education does not end inside the classroom. Children regularly explore forests, observe wildlife, and spend time outdoors. Even during the colder months, curiosity is encouraged. Questions are welcomed. Nature itself becomes part of the learning experience. This connection between people and the outdoors remains an important part of growing up. Beyond its forests and traditions, Sweden has also become one of Europe's most innovative nations. Cashless payments are now part of everyday life. Many shops no longer handle physical money at all. Cities continue investing in renewable energy, environmentally friendly transportation, and sustainable urban development. Stockholm has emerged as one of Europe's leading technology and startup hubs, attracting entrepreneurs from around the world. Perhaps what makes Sweden truly remarkable is not simply its modern achievements, nor its centuries-old traditions, but the way both continue to exist side by side. A person may spend weekdays developing software for a global technology company, then spend the weekend in a small wooden cottage, fishing on a quiet lake, or picking wild berries beneath towering pine trees. In Sweden, progress has not replaced tradition. It has learned to live alongside it. By now, Sweden may look very different from the image many people imagine. It is not simply a country of endless forests, snow-covered landscapes, or colorful wooden houses, nor is it defined only by modern cities, innovative technology, or one of the world's most admired welfare systems. Sweden is, above all, a place where nature and society have learned to exist in remarkable balance. For centuries, long winters taught people patience. Short summers taught them gratitude. Vast forests encouraged independence, while close-knit communities reminded them that no one truly thrives alone. Perhaps that is why so many parts of Swedish life revolve around balance. Balance between work and family, between ambition and humility, between freedom and responsibility, between progress and tradition. A simple coffee break becomes an opportunity to reconnect with others. A small wooden cottage becomes a refuge from the noise of modern life. A walk through the forest is not considered an escape. It is simply another part of everyday living. Even the values that shape Swedish society reflect this same philosophy. Trust is earned and carefully protected. Equality is encouraged. Children are taught to become independent while remaining connected to their families and communities. Success is respected, but rarely celebrated with excess. Time is valued as much as money, and quality of life is measured not only by what people own, but by how they live. Of course, Sweden is not a perfect country. The long, dark winters can be difficult. Housing remains expensive, taxes are high. Modern society brings new challenges that no nation can completely avoid. Yet despite these realities, millions of people continue to choose this country as their home. Perhaps happiness here has never been about comfort alone. Perhaps it comes from knowing that even during the darkest months, spring will always return. That after every long winter comes another summer filled with light. That true wealth is found not only in possessions, but in relationships, in trust, in nature, and in time shared with the people who matter most. Maybe that is the quiet lesson Sweden offers the world. Not that life should be perfect, but that a meaningful life is often built from simple things, repeated every day with care. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Sweden. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what part of Swedish life surprised you the most. Until next time, thank you for watching.